All right, welcome to the channel. It's almost 2026, and a lot of advice you're going to get is written for people that seem to have nothing but time and they're not under the pressure. And if that's the case, that's awesome. Go ahead and see if you can conquer your New Year resolutions in that manner. Just dive head first. But for almost everybody out there, there's like we're in constant survival mode, whether it's like an infant screaming or your kids having problems at school, a nagging spouse, or it could be just like the weight of the job is just draining your energy and soul. And when you're in survival mode, it doesn't care about your New Year resolutions. It's just about surviving. And we do want to survive. We have to survive, but we want to strive. We want to get our New Year's resolutions going. So I was thinking a lot about Arthur Schopenhauer lately, and a lot of his videos kind of call to me in terms of like cutting out unnecessary things. But I always find myself getting trapped in unnecessary things and not doing what I need to be doing. But hopefully we can change that here in 2026. Quote from Arthur Schopenhauer is, time is like a taskmaster with a whip. And it's always pressing, never letting us take a breath. It's like you're feeling the pressure to change everything at once, but if you're just trying to keep your head above water, that's just going to add to the stress. So you don't want to add that to it. So this year, our resolutions aren't really about doing more. It's about prioritizing and, more importantly, distinguishing what we need to really focus on. And another thing about Schopenhauer is Schopenhauer believed that most social obligations are frivolous, time wasters. They're designed to keep us from our own minds. So what I would propose this year is try to incorporate like some sort of prayer, like a silent prayer a la Jesse Lee Peterson, so you can check that out. Something I need to incorporate. It's almost like a form of meditation, whereas you're just shutting down your mind, just like cutting off the subconscious negativity. You're just letting silence whatever thoughts come in your mind. They come in your mind. They might give you clues onto what you need to focus on in your life. They might be creative things you might want to consider, but the main thing is just to like block everything out. Because another thing in 2026 we got to try not to do is try not to crash out. Or if you found yourself crashing out a little bit, try not to crash out as much, because a lot of people would love to see you crash out, so they can go ahead and fire you, go ahead and get rid of you, or go ahead and say, see, I knew about that person all along. So they like to push your buttons, and we're not going to let them do that. It's like somebody's throwing you in the water and you're mad because they're the ones that threw you in the water. So you're flailing about. Don't flail about. Just swim to shore, swim to a safe spot, and just get out of the water. You'll deal with that later. But if you're trying to flail and be angry and all that stuff as they're doing it, you might drown in these conditions nowadays. So just keep your wits about you. Calm heads will prevail, hopefully, and we'll come back and with a better outlook. Try to prioritize and do what you need to do, but go in important directions, and that might be micro steps, in that direction. But we want to get the reps in. You want to be consistent every day. It's not about overtraining, but it's like training your mind, subconsciousness to kind of do what you need to do on a regular basis, even if it's just a little bit. For instance, let's say you're like a musician and your boss is yelling at you on your real job, reality. So we're dealing with reality. So your real job, he's yelling at you saying, oh, you didn't do this. Or they're not even yelling at you, but they're kind of like letting you know, like, you screwed up and we're really getting sick of it, blah, blah, blah. Trying to gaslight you a little bit. Instead of crashing, getting angry, kind of get back to the silent prayer in your mind. Just blank out everything. Hear what they're saying, but try to blank out the anger and focus on that in your meditations or silent prayer. And just think about what you need to do. So you're a musician, let's say. What you need to do is when you get a chance, you might have 1 minute to do it, but then that might open up a little bit more time. But just try to do that first warm-up scale that you already know. Try to do it better than before. But you're thinking, oh, well, I need this, I need that to sound better. I might need better strings or a better instrument or blah, blah. No, let's do what we got with what we got here. Let's focus on being in the present moment. Get that scale perfect, and then you can do some repetitions. You're already in the repetition mode because you made yourself do that little bit. Then you can maybe expand on that a little bit, maybe create a song, maybe learn a new scale or practice a new scale, or do chordal changes off a scale you're not familiar with, but you're just keep going towards your ultimate goals and have the resolutions, have the goals, but you have to repeatedly attack them on a consistent manner. You might not be able to really get that far, but as you get in that consistent space, you're going to allow yourself a better chance to attack those goals. So that's what you want to think about when you're almost crashing out in everyday life. Just keep it together, because when it matters, what matters is you're attacking your goals, and your goals should be something you like to do, stuff based on survival. Yes, we're going to survive, and another way we can do that, like let's say fitness. You have fitness goals, and you find yourself eating out too much. Well, you could kill two birds with one stone, meaning you could prepare your meals and save money and attack your fitness goal at the same time. And then just be consistent with it. Whenever you get a chance to batch your food, meaning I want to do this, I got to do this, eat higher protein. So let's say on Sunday, which is today, I have some time. I can prepare a couple of days out for meals. That's going to save me time during the week and money during the week, whereas I'm not running to the quick pump gas station and getting some junk food because I'm starving. I need something. And look, right now, fasting just really is not part of my plan. So it might be part of yours. So you got to incorporate all these things on a consistent basis, but it doesn't have to be the whole thing at once. It can be just almost going through the motions on a consistent basis, but you're going to find yourself attacking that a little bit more and a little bit more, and you might wedge your way into chopping them trees down as you go. And you got to also look at some things just can stay undone. If the laundry doesn't get folded today because you needed 20 minutes of silence, it's just going to have to go unfolded. There's no shame in survival. So when you do things to survive, don't feel shame that you didn't get as far as you wanted in your goal. Just get to doing your goal just for a little bit, just starting every day a little bit. As you find that, you're going to get a little bit further. So that's what we need to do. And in 2026, we prioritize the things that move the needle and just let other things go that are distracting you. Like, for instance, okay, I have something, and then I'm looking for something better before I even start. Let me start with what I got. Let's start with what you got. Instead of spending that time researching, spend your time starting using the tools you have so far. And I think that's good practice in terms of like trying to find your hobbies. Problem with me is survival is career aspirations get a little bit chopped up. So it's something I need to navigate, but I think it's another one of those repetition things where I have to do a little bit of time every day towards improving my careers, meaning like, let's say I'm going to look for better job today a little bit, or this day I'm going to see about what education could I get. Even if it's just a couple minutes every day, at least I'm doing something. And each day it'll wedge a little bit deeper and hopefully get me closer to improving my career. So I think that's how we have to approach 2026. And we got to stop with the guilt. When you start feeling guilty, a lot of times you start getting bored. You're back on the internet. You're researching this and that. Okay, like I was saying, researching education. That's okay because it's going towards my career. But it's the action of it, meaning, is there something I can do now? Is there something I already have that I can improve my career? I got to do that first. That goes back to prioritizing. So we have to prioritize and delegate certain things. Maybe to have somebody else research something for you if you feel like that person needs something to do. And it might help them on their path to improving. So what we have to do, prioritize, delegate, and leave certain obligations off the table. More Schopenhauer type deal where is like you kind of isolate from frivolous obligations such as, oh, we're going to go hang out with them, and then they're going to be expecting us to invite them over, and it's this back and forth, and it's like you're spending so much time and money on these ditty obligations, whereas like it's like you could have just focused on your own thing. So it's about prioritizing. Hey, maybe you want to do that. Maybe that's part of your goal to be more social this year. That might be good. Don't expect everybody else to have your goals too. And that's another thing. Here I am on the internet talking about it. You could be telling people your goals and your resolutions. I would try to tell you, just don't do what I do. Just keep it to yourself. That'll just give them fuel to like, people don't really care. That'll give them fuel though to ask you later and kind of like maybe troll you into your goal. But I feel like it's more of just, they don't care, and it's just more of just a way for them to judge you. So it can lead to more frustration. And we are under a lot of stress. We're a lot of people in survival mode. I don't know if you want the added stress. So I would say try to keep your goals and resolutions mainly to yourself, because sometimes the people closest to you can be your biggest allies or your biggest saboteurs. So one thing I want everybody to do is just keep pumping up for the new year. You can find a way. Just do it if you can. Like set your fitness goals. But if you don't, just get a quick pump, Just go do a little bit of something. And like I said, try to do it on a consistent basis, and it'll grow into something more. One thing I want to watch out for, which I probably don't have a risk of because I've taken steps to not do it, but it's also a risk too, is overtrain. I would rather overeat than overtrain, meaning I'm going to try to get more protein and I'm going to try to eat healthier, but I don't want to overeat, but I definitely don't want to overtrain, because I feel like when you overeat, you can course correct faster than when you overtrain. Overtraining, once you find out you've overtrained, that's like, you want to take a time off, then it's a cycle of shame and you start to feel bad. So just try to stay consistent. And I try to do more of like a high intensity style workout, kind of a namby-pamby approach to things sometimes, but I try to train to failure and then let my muscles recover. Right now I'm doing a break-in period because it's been a while, so I'm going to try to continue in that manner, but I still want to do something physically active every day just to keep that repetition open, meaning that mindset, keep that wedge going, because I'll find excuse to say, oh, I've trained too much, I can't get in there, or I'll go the other way and just do it too far. But I feel like if I'm in the gym every day, and I've got a better chance at just following my goals, and I don't have to be training heavy duty every day. I just want to do a little something every day. And I do have a physical job, so that I will have to take into factor as well. And one thing I did, I think, to help prioritize, I quit Planet Fitness. I just quit it. I'm good till like January 15th or something, but then I can't go. But the thing is, I find myself wasting time deciding, am I going to do this at home or going to do that at Planet Fitness? With my gym setup at home, it's more than adequate right now. Only thing I would be missing at Planet Fitness is like the Smith machine, back extension machine, the ab machines, and the tanning and stuff. But like, I don't really feel like tanning. I can do that in the summertime. Just follow a natural progression of things. Smith machine. Yeah, I'll be missing the Smith machine, but I got like a trap bar at home, whereas I can do certain exercises. I do love to do Smith machine shrugs, and the standing calf raise they have there now. I like to do shrugs on that too if I'm not taking up other people's times. Those are great machines. They got a back row machine that's really nice, but I really like doing rows with my trap bar. I got a seated cable thing I could do rows with. So I've got more than enough stuff to get down on at home, and it'll allow me to focus, meaning I don't have to decide, am I going to do this, am I going to do that, and then have to spend time in the car going there. I'm very blessed to have a home gym, so I'm going to prioritize this year and try to get rid of stuff, try to remove redundancies. It'll allow me to focus more. That's another thing I talk about, doing it with what you got already. So let's try to do that in this New Year's, and let's keep pumping it up, baby. Yeah.